Well, our next guest has worked very hard with the support of her loving husband, former NBA pro Alonzo Mourning, to give back to her community in so many ways. Of course, we're talking about Tracy Wilson Mourning, who happens to be a star in her own right. She has personally established a mentoring program for young women called Honey Shine, which teaches them the support and self-esteem they need to excel in life. She has also created just a dynamite bath and body care product line for women, and all of this while raising 3 children. Oh, and let's not forget about being married to a professional basketball icon. Wow, talk about balancing her act. We are so pleased to welcome to the show this morning Tracy Wilson Mourning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
You know, we really do balance it all as women, don't we?
Yeah, we have to.
What is your personal balancing act?
Prayer. It starts there. That's my foundation and my focus. And when I tell you that I've been blessed with amazing people in my life to support me along the journey, and anything that I've been passionate about or have felt as that was a calling for me, such as Honey Shine and Honey Child, I'm telling you, the support has been there. So my foundation, it's prayer.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that, because one of the things both you and your husband are known for in the South Florida community is giving back and all the charitable work that you do. And I know your mentoring program is so important to you. Tell me a little bit more about Honey Shine.
Well, Honey Shine, we started many years ago. I used to live here in South Florida when I was a young girl, and this amazing woman, Miss Annie Lou Johnson, would take care of me while my mom cleaned houses and worked at the jail in South Florida. And it was in going back to visit her when Alonzo's job brought us back here that I would, in the same house where I was raised, where I would see groups of girls walking around the neighborhood, no direction, no place to go, and I'd wonder, and sometimes out loud, which one am I out of that group, had it not been for my mom, had it not been for Miss Annie Lou and the amazing women in my life. And it was just placed on my heart that I had to do something. So I was writing in my journal one day about my dreams for Honey Child, my lifestyle brand, and Honey Shine came to me, and I knew that I was to do something with Honey Shine, and I just didn't know what. So I spoke about it for a few years, and then that voice wouldn't be quiet, and I just gathered a group of girlfriends around my table and said, we're to do something with Honey Shine and to make a difference, and that's how we started. And now we're going, you know, that was a long time ago, more than 10 years ago, and it has grown, and our girls come from all over the community, a lot of at-risk situations, and it's about us women coming together, and some men as well, sharing our experiences and our stories, and letting them know that you can make it through, you have to persevere, and it's about showing them what's out there. For me, it was someone taking me outside of my neighborhood to a college place one time, and I saw a group of kids. I was like, they do this, they listen to music, they hang out, and I said, I want to do that. I want to see what's out there, and I know it's about exposure and sharing what's out there. So that's what we do. We take our girls. Some of our girls had never gone to the beach before we took them, and you know, that's one of God's greatest creations. So it's about exposure and sharing and opportunity, and that was many years ago, and Honey Shine's grown.
And you know, I can just see how much this resonates with you, even when you talk about it. And it really is about encouraging young girls to shine and be the best they can be. How does Honey Shine go about accomplishing that? Do you have other mentors that the girls can say, this is who I can look up to? She was just like me, and now I can be just like her.
Absolutely. We have women that come in all kinds of professions, attorneys, doctors, women that have their own businesses, moms. We have a lot of volunteers. That's how we get our work done, is through the volunteers. It's amazing how you just ask and it appears. And you know, our girls didn't think about college beforehand. Now they're talking about where they're going to college and how they're getting there. And we have workshops on self-esteem, health and beauty, higher education. We get together at least twice a month throughout the school year, and we have a summer camp now.
You know, I want to ask you, and I know this is not, I'm just going to put the cards down. We're going to just leave the cue cards alone. This is a conversation between girlfriends at this point, because one of the things that I find so interesting about you is that, and in all the years that I've known you, the thing I always hear about Tracy Mourning is that she loves to give back. Where did that come from? Because for many of us it is learned, but for others of us it is innate.
Well, I think it's a combination of many things. For me, it's just my nature. When I tell you all my life I've been blessed, you know, all my life. My mother cleaned houses every city we went to, from Florida to Cincinnati to Las Vegas, where I went to high school and junior high school. And when I tell you I didn't want for anything, when she told me, we were having this conversation not so long ago, and she was talking about us being poor, I was like, wait a minute, I wasn't poor. I had everything I wanted. And I know that that's not just because. I know that God didn't say, I'm going to give this all to you just because. It's because I have a responsibility. It's our responsibility to give back. I hear people say all the time, why do you do it? You know, you don't have to. I disagree. I have to. You know, we all have to. We can't rely on anyone else to do it for us. And it's a responsibility that comes to everyone. So I think we instill that in our children early on, and they know no matter what you've been given or blessed with, you have to serve someone else. Life is about serving and serving others. And the more I grow, the more I learn. You know, my children show me that, and my honey bugs show me that's what it's all about. You can have everything in the world, but if you're not serving others with it, what's the point?
Well, I'm sure a lot of people would want to walk in your shoes, and that leads me to my next question about the Walk in Your Shoes journey. Tell me about that. Oh,
with Miss Lauren book, that was amazing. What a powerhouse that young lady is. I would love for the world to get to know her. And she's a survivor, and a survivor of abuse, sexual abuse. She was abused by her babysitter for many years, and she has just used that strength and that power to make a change. And she's made some great changes, and she walked from way down south all the way to Tallahassee, and to ask to be a part of that was just really special. I had shared with Lauren before that I'm a survivor as well. When I lived here in South Florida, it was abuse that I had endured, and I just knew that, you know, I can't be quiet about it. I have to speak about it, because that's the problem. We don't talk about it, and we pretend it doesn't happen, but it's very widespread throughout this country, throughout this world, and especially in the African American community, where we don't stand up about it. You know, but I had been blessed with the opportunity, and I look at it as a blessing to stand before my abuser and to tell him that I remember what you did to me. I remember clearly, and I want you to know that I don't carry that. I forgive you, but that's your walk that you have to carry now.
Did you confront your abuser as an adult?
As an adult.
As an adult.
Yeah.
And so when your abuser looks at you as this child who couldn't speak and didn't have a voice, and now you're able to come back as an adult and say, I know.
Yeah.
How empowering is that for you, and what kind of positive message do you think that sends to other women out there? Because Tracy, let's be honest, a lot of women won't talk about it because they feel I'm the only one.
No, we're not by ourselves, and I think we have to start talking about it. That's why shows like this and so many opportunities out there to tell the stories of women that survive. Yes, it was empowering for me to do it, but that's not why I did it. You know, it was like crazy how it happened that God brought us to the same place within the same space that it took place.
And you didn't know he was going to be?
I didn't realize. And then to be in that space in the same room, it was like, wait a minute, I have to speak on this. My spirit couldn't let me be quiet about it. And I had to tell him, I know what you did. You know, and those other little kids that are running around here, I want you to see your mother's eyes in them. I want you to see my eyes in them, and to know that you have to deal with this. This is your issue, not mine.
Oh, that gives me chills.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that sends just such a powerful message to a lot of our viewers out there who may be dealing with something like this or know someone who is. And that's one of the things I think that people love so much about you, that you are so open and so giving in so many different ways. And so you nurture our spirit, but also our bodies, my dear, with this body care line that you have as well. You talk about doing it all and balancing it all. Tell me a little bit about the body care line.
Well, it's based on Honey Child. When I was a little girl, down south, we say, Honey Child, please.
And you would do it just like
and you have to move your neck with it too. Honey Child, please. So in creating the line, who Honey Child is, she's based on who I feel like Miss Annie Lou is, and she was the goddess, the soulmate, the mother, the friend that I believe all women are, that we just don't touch on and we don't connect with. So the opportunity presented itself for me to do a body product line, and it's beautiful. We have lotions, oils, scrubs, and it's about creating that ritual, that time for yourself. As a mom, you don't have time for yourself. As business women, we don't always have time for ourselves, but we all have to take a shower at some point in time, or bath. So you take that 5 minutes and put your armor on, you know, put your goddess, whatever you're feeling. You know, I may put on goddess and mother, you know, or soulmate and friend, just a combination, you know, and the blends. It's just very special, you know, they're relaxing, they're empowering, they're nurturing, and it's about encouraging women to take time to create those rituals for themselves so that we know that we can make it through anything. You know, I come from a strong woman, very small family, you know, but my mother is this powerhouse 78-year-old woman that is ornery as a snake, mouth like a sailor, call you everything but a child of God, and people wonder how we're related. But she's my heart and my soul, and you know, I remember when Alonzo was going through his kidney transplant many years ago, and I had just given birth to our daughter Micah, and I remember crying and just wailing like a wounded animal, like, Mommy, like, how do I make it through this? Like, how do I survive? No one had any answers. They didn't know what was going to happen. And I remember my mom looking at me and she said, what would have happened to you and your sister had I'd given up? That was it. That's all it took. You know, that's all it took. And I just thought back everything this woman has had to endure. And her story is, one, it's amazing, but that strength that she has.
And that message is exactly what our show, The Balancing Act, is all about. So thank you so much, Tracy, for coming by and sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
And if you'd like more information on the Honey Shine mentoring program, be sure to check out the website. It is honeyshine.org. And to learn more about Tracy's bath and body care products, we want you to visit that website. It is honeychild.net.